Princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a little bit of a brand spotlight. I've got a few of those little brand spotlights coming up, and today it's on a very, very cool brand that I'm sure that you've heard of called Glossier. And the reason we are spotlighting Glossier, other than the fact that they are a very noteworthy brand, of course, is that they are now in store and online at Sephora. Yes, Glossier has come to Sephora. So you probably know or have heard of Glossier as one of the first direct-to-consumer, certainly the biggest direct-to-consumer makeup brand. Glossier started as Into the Gloss, which was a website where people shared makeup tips and reviews and things like that. If you've ever read Into the Gloss, I did. It's very, very good. And in 2014, they actually founded this direct-to-consumer makeup line, kind of with millennials in mind, to be honest. Really quick makeup, minimalist makeup, pretty makeup that really appealed to the kind of millennial easygoing vibe. Their prices are pretty standard on the low side actually for high-end makeup, and the ingredients used are nice, and the products are really reliable and pretty. The brand branched out into a few brick and mortar stores. I remember visiting the one in New York, and there is one in Los Angeles near me, but I think they're changing with the times, and it's kind of important to have a little bit more of an in-store presence these days post-COVID. So Glossier, as I just mentioned, has come to Sephora. So I thought it was time to do a little brand spotlight, and we're going to talk about an array in front of me here of some of my favorite Glossier products, and we are going to do this very minimalist, very pretty, I think, everyday look today with you in the demo, and we'll talk about all that. Plus, I've done some other Glossier reviews, which I will link below. And all of these products that we're going to talk about today are linked below through Sephora, so you can take a look at them there. And like I said, I've got a few other brand spotlights coming up, some independent brands, some not. So we're going to be able to explore some of my favorites from brands that I either hope to introduce you to or to just have us all discuss here. So let's go into the demo and talk about, oh gosh, about 11 or so of my personal favorite Glossier products. Stay right there. Okay, a lot of great products sitting right here in front of me. A whole face full of Glossier, really. Let's start with the brows. Boy Brow is probably one of, there's many, but one of the most kind of iconic products from Glossier. And it was one of the first brow products, really good brow products that I loved. I will relate it a little bit to Tom Ford. Tom Ford has a great one too. And this basically is the holder and a little bit of the shade in it. I'll show you the difference here. The holder, the brow gel. You knew what I meant. This is the shade brown. This comes in 5 colors and is $17. You don't get a whole lot of product, but for $17, that's not too bad, to be honest. We're still talking high-end beauty here. What I like about this product is it's not too wet. Even the Charlotte Tilbury one for me is a little too wet and it gets everywhere for me. Now, some people have told me that they find that this makes their brows a little bit crusty. And the only thing I can suggest there is if you have that happen and you feel that they're a little bit crusty with this or really any brow gel, is that when it's dry, just get your little spoolie and just kind of comb through it. They'll still stay where they need to be, but they won't feel as crusty. So that's just a little idea there. And as you see, that looks much better. This is a very good product. It's kind of an iconic Glossier product, Boy Brow, and it's a really, really good one. So I do suggest you try this if you're looking for something quick and if you don't need to draw in anything or anything like that. I just think it really kind of fills in and makes everything look really nice. All right, here is the Solar Paint Luminous Gel Bronze. This is in the shade Ray, but this comes in 4 colors and is $20. And this is just a sweet little kind of doe foot applied bronzer. So it's kind of the cross between a cream bronzer, really. I'm just going to put it all over here, and a liquid bronzer. It's more liquid than cream, but you know what I mean. And I do like to put this on with a brush. It is a very, very warm leading product, so I do not like it for contouring, but that's typical of me as I do not contour anyway. There are other products like this that I actually prefer. I think this one is a little bit tougher to blend in, but notice I don't mind going onto the cheeks or the face. It warms up the face, but you know, the warmth of the hand and get it around the hairline. It really does add a nice little kind of a warmth to the complexion. And I know my daughter feels as if it looks like she put on foundation even if she isn't wearing anything, because goodness knows she is young enough in her teens that she doesn't need actual, other than that, complexion products. Lucky thing. Now we have the Haloscope Balm Dewy Highlighter. I picked up the shade Quartz. This is a $22 product that comes in 3 shades, and it is kind of a dewy balm. It's got a little highlighting in the middle, and as usual with their products, you just slide it right on there. Now I am wearing my Laura Mercier, so that's not going to budge for anything, but this really doesn't take off product, and I think you can see there is no product on there, and I am literally, because Glossier is so user-friendly, I'm going to gently, very, very gently, just kind of warm this up with my hands. It's a really nice kind of gentle highlight, very dewy, and as you see, I am not glowing from the heavens. It's just kind of like a little bit of a balm. So that's a very, very pretty product. And again, all of these are affordable. $22 for a glowy, dewy highlighter. All right, now this one is definitely iconic ever since it was introduced. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint Gel Cream Blush. $20, and it comes in 8 shades. This is that kind of pink shade called Puff. It's a very, very, very pretty product. I'll show it to you on the back of my hand. Here it is. And I'm going to use that part of that from the swatch on my hand just to put a few dots on. This is very reminiscent of the Charlotte Tilbury wands. It's got that kind of natural finish, although I do know that the Charlotte Tilbury are called matte, but it's a similar kind of a finish, and it is a very iconic Glossier product and very affordable. You can see why this does appeal to youth, although it's kind of a millennial company, right? But they're looking for their Gen Z and Gen X too. Okay, so that's still on my hand for reference. Let's look at the Generation G Sheer Matte Lipstick. This is in the shade Like, but it comes in 9 shades. It's a sheer kind of balm of a lipstick that is very easy to wear and very pretty. And I'm just going to put some on here. Very buildable, has a little bit of a scent to it. Almost a slight perfumey scent rather than a vanilla scent. But that does dissipate. And very ergonomically shaped, easy to put on, and as you see, very, very buildable. Okay, now let's move on to the eyes. We're going to start with the #1 eye pencil. I have 4 shades of it here, and I'll list all of these, but I think we are going today to use this really dark green shade. This #1 eye pencil comes in 10 shades, and I have 4 of them. I think I'm going to use the shade Fresco today. Fresco is this kind of green, very natural, kind of like green grass shade. Almost like a slightly different version of a black shade, and I'm going to put it here. This is a very, very nice eye pencil. It doesn't really budge, and these are $16, which again, not too bad. Remember, we're not talking drugstore makeup, so the prices are going to be a little bit higher, but you know, it's not as high as some luxury brands, that's for sure, as most luxury brands. Okay, so we have a little bit of liner on now. And I think we're going to use today, we have a few things here. I have the Monochromes, I have Teak and Jute here, and they're beautiful, but I actually have reviewed these. I have reviewed these. The reason I'm glossing over, no pun intended, the monochrome shadows and the #1 eye pencil is I have separate reviews for these products, and I will link those below, okay? But they're really, really good Glossier products, and I'll link them below. And here, though, today, I'm going to try a new one on camera, and this is the Skywash Liquid to Powder Matte Eyeshadow Tint. This comes in 7 shades. It's $18, not bad, and I got the shade Pebble because I'm looking just for something that's quick and easy to use. Again, a doe foot applicator, just like the bronzer, and I'm just going to put this all over. You can use fingers, you can use a brush. I brought over a brush, but I think I'm just going to use my fingers here. We'll try maybe a brush on the other side. This is a very kind of easy to use shade. I got a shade that was almost skin-like. I just want a little something onto my eyes. And I knew that with this shade, I wouldn't have to be too precise. I'm gonna get an eyeshadow brush here. I wouldn't have to be too precise. And as you see, as it goes on, it just basically becomes like a matte powder on my eyes. I could put anything I want over it. Or for me, because you know, guys, and I tell people this and they don't believe me, but I am not a real eye look eyeshadow wearer. When I am on my own, I will do a nice blush and a lip look and a lot of mascara, but on my eyes, I just want something, the more simple, the better. So this really appeals to me. It goes on so easily and it's not runny like a typical liquid shadow. Pretty much the second you take a brush to it, you guys, looks exactly like a powder and it's just incredibly easy to use. And you can see why this appeals to very young people, because it's a really easy kind of look to do. Again, these #1 pencils have so many colors. You know, you should do yourself a favor and take a look online because they're really, really pretty. And you know, there's a lot of attention for these monochrome eyeshadows. Basically what they are, I'll link my review below, but these are really just the same. It's the same shade in 3 different textures. So it's the exact same shade in a matte and a shimmer and kind of a glimmery, more glimmery shade. So I'll link that below, and that's why I'm not giving them a lot. Now, of course, Glossier also has great mascara. They have a lovely concealer. They have complexion products and amazing cleansers, but I just wanted to show you some of my favorite. The thing I like about the brand is it's super easy, super quick and on the go, and more affordable than most brands really in their realm, but just as pretty, simple, and easy to use. And I think Sephora is a great place for them. So those are some of my favorites. What I would love to know now is what are some of your favorite Glossier products? Share with us below. Are you happy that they came to Sephora, or do you kind of wish they'd still stayed close to their original kind of intent when the brand first started? I would love to know what your thoughts are. That's what makes us a community. So put those below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that we can keep growing. Come and say a big hello over on Instagram and on TikTok too. And don't forget that you can support this channel by giving super thanks or by becoming a member. But in any way that you participate, I'm just so thrilled to have you here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.